So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea. If you know it, you can make your cuts with put some pressure on the defense.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Minshew, he was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. But now it'll be...
Happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 22. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 23 yards, the final tally.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On 1st down, it's Green. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Shaw. And this is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Shaw. And this one's incomplete. They were looking that time to get it to Justin Hardy, and it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And now out come the Jags. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Out of the gun is Minshew. The open man is Shark. It's complete. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. And the connection made to Terrell Pryor. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Minshew, 1st and 10. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Lambeau is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we are halfway. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Falcons grab it. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. 9 yards on the touchdown run. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play.
On second down, Armstead. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. Exactly right.
And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of...
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
On the ready.
955. Hey, eat. Squeeze, double.
Come.
Going with Armstead, a first down carry. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they...
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. The Clemson Tiger, Vic Beasley, reaches home that time. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
He'll buy some time for this. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
On second down, Minshew. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Tyler Davison breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17, following the 2 negative plays. So 3rd and long, here's Minshew. He's got the hook up with Conley. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. The 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Looking to throw it. Minshew. He can run for it, and he will. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score.
The The defense was almost too good on that play. They took away all of his targets. The one thing they forgot, to account for him as a runner. And he was able to tuck it and go for the end zone and get it done.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go!
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Smith. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Josh Allen brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And heads back onto the field. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a one-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So out come the Falcons now. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. The line give them 9, though, on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. So now the Jags down on the scoreboard. A little under 2.5 to go. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Oh, that's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
Tavecchio to add the PAT. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So the defense will start at the 25. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Ready. 8, read.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. This is Jeff Swaim, the tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Minshew. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. He hits blue. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Throwing on 2nd down now, Minshew. Throw left side to his tight end, Swaim. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Minshew sets to throw. And able to find Conley. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry-up. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Minshew, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on,
and he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
So still a chance with just over 20 seconds to go, but they need to get this one back, no doubt. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the carry, here's Smith. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Mike, 53, Mike.
On second down now, it's Smith. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Check back.
5.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This player's development trait is hidden. Put this player in your lineup in a... Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. You have grades for each position. Browse available players to improve your team.
I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. by myself. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself.
Start the regular season by selecting your season goal. Meeting your season goal comes with higher rewards, but also higher risk.
Keep your distance from myself. Fettuccine with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish he's well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills. They can't get it by themselves.
That's why you treat my men good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just
yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health.
Two veteran quarterbacks looking for a return to the playoffs. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, two teams who stayed home for the playoffs last year.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
I'm coming after you.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.